You're listening to the John and Heidi Show, now featuring the wit and wisdom of Dan Farris.
Okay, dudes, let's walk this sucker.
On Sunny 93.3.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris. How you doing, Dan?
I'm doing pretty well. You ever have one of those days you wake up in the morning, it's like, I would love to just absolutely write, just bounce, just fire up the piano, just play songs on the piano, just piano it out, man, just raise the roof.
I was going to say I'm not.
No.
Because I don't know how to play the piano.
I don't either. I was just asking if you ever had that.
No, I've not had one of those days.
Well, joyous day across America, of course, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to celebrate. It was this very day in 1933, Prohibition ended in the United States of America.
I remember that.
The 21st Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was ratified. The 18th Amendment repealed.
Nice.
At exactly 4:32 our time this afternoon.
You know where the first legal drink was?
I honestly don't.
It was in the Oval Office.
What?
First legal drink. Was,
What?
or I might have just made that up.
But I always thought it was such an interesting name, which it used to be the Ground Round on Minnesota and Grange.
Yeah.
Now it's the 18th Amendment.
A lot of people don't know why they call it that.
But it's completely backwards because
Should be the
18th
21st Amendment.
Yeah, because 18th Amendment means there's no hooch here, not legal. So kind of different.
Maybe they want it to seem kind of risque and off limits.
I don't know.
Thing.
We're talking about them right now for free.
So it's clearly working.
I think it's cool that they have the doors locked. You got to knock and, say a code word to get in.
Those doors are kind of prohibition-y.
They're pretty cool.
Sort of. 18th Amendment. If we stretch this out about another 30 seconds, they're going to owe us like $100.
We can build it. They have good pizza.
So there you go. And happy birthday to General George Armstrong Custer, who would have been 180 today, but he kind of miscalculated on a little skirmish back in 1876. Did manage to get a town named after him in South Dakota. So those of you out in Custer today, yay. And in memory of that, I'm wearing one of my Arrow dress shirts, which he inadvertently invented that day in 1876. And Walt Disney is 118.
No kidding.
Yes, would have been, actually.
Well, is his head frozen underneath
he's frozen
something?
That's
somewhere,
the
isn't
rumor. He was one of the first people.
Cryogenics?
Yes, cryogenics.
I don't know if that's real. If he really, I know that's real, but I don't know if he really did.
I don't know whether he did or not. Ted Williams, baseball superstar, had his head frozen. In fact, that went into litigation. His son wanted his head back or something, and I don't know if he's in a bowling league or what was going on there.
That would be amazing.
Now that we're up to date.
Thanks for that update, Dan.
Gotcha. And again, one more shout out to the 18th Amendment, Minnesota and Grange. Be looking for your Sunny 93.3 invoice.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
Before you know it, Christmas will be here. Are you ready? If you plan to use a credit card while shopping, make sure you have the very best credit card for you. It's free to click around and see what we can do for you at bettercreditcards.net. We have options from many different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. Bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for Ranger Dan's Critter Corner.
Well, I'm rough, tough, and ready. I'm a heck of a man. Eat my beans and weenies from a frying pan.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves to wrestle bears and lasso ducks. Run over possums in my government truck.
He's Ranger Dan.
Easy. I'm Ranger Dan. Well, I loves all the campers and the animals, too. If you're picking on critters, I'm coming after you.
He's Ranger Dan.
Yes, sir. I'm Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Good morning, Ranger Dan.
Well, a big tip of the Ranger hat and top of the morning to you. Heidi John, all Radio Rangers. Hello.
You're somewhat Irish today.
Oh, Irish. My daddy used to say, my daddy, Ranger Dad, he'd say, Little Ranger Dan, I don't know what you're talking about, but I need you to shut up.
Hey, my dad used to say that, too.
Used to get that from Ranger Grandpa, too. And Ranger Grandma and Ranger Mom. Little Radio Rangers, we've been talking about, reindeer because it is that time of year. Of course, reindeer pulling Santa's sled and getting things done Christmas Eve and spreading joy throughout the whole gosh darn planet Earth. But, Santa being from the North Pole, I thought it'd be interesting to take a look at what other critters might be roaming around in that neck of the woods. It's not just reindeer. Heck no, it's not.
Yeah, what else is there?
Santa gets to hang around with polar bears, polar fox, musk ox, seals, walruses,
Nice.
partridges, owls.
Wow.
Certain kind of seagull. What's interesting about all these animals is, with very few exceptions, because they're in the North Pole, almost all these animals are either white or they're able to turn white in season.
Nice.
Really?
Which is fascinating, like
It is.
like the Arctic fox.
Oh, yeah.
During the warmer season, that fox will be kind of a reddish brown with a white tip on his tail. But I tell you what, stuff starts blowing, and weather starts moving, still starts moving in. That fox is white, 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 white.
Wow.
And I think it's high time he checked his privilege. Which brings us to this, and I guess this is some kind of public service announcement, I guess, but I do have to get this out there according to my law firm. Apparently, the Ranger Dan Flockett Critter Kits, the kit to let you flock your pet Fluffy White for the holidays,
Yeah.
may or quite probably contain various toxins and may or quite likely be extremely flammable and or combustible. So, safety first, little Radio Rangers, when using your Ranger Dan Flockett Critter Kit. You might want to crack a window, maybe tape a moist paper towel over your mouth and nose, and stay at least 10 feet away from open flames, and gosh darn it, if you're going to smoke, bring it outside. Well, that's it for Ranger Dan this morning. The real little way to Rangers. Go to school, go to church, say your prayers, eat your vegetables, don't be playing soccer at home. You got you wearing Crocs. Ranger Dan out. Yes.
Again, Ranger Dan's Critter Corner on Sunny 93.3.
If you have a drug problem, don't let it ruin your life. You can be in treatment as soon as tomorrow, and you can start to get clean in as little as 7 days. Take the first step to get drugs out of your life at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything, so you really have nothing to lose. Timeforrehab.com. Start your new life. You deserve it. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You're listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time now for Water Cooler Talk, brought to you by Aqua One. Mr. Dan Farris back in the studio now with some really important news.
So important, this is kind of a big deal, and it's pretty interesting because watching, the morphing of this particular facility has been kind of fascinating, and I have to give credit where credit is due. I am completely borrowing this story from Jody Schwan, and I know some of you do know about mine and Jody's history. I won't go into it here. Wow.
Those lamps?
Some things are still in litigation. According to Jody, still has my albums, Schwan. The downtown Sioux Falls family YMCA looks like it's going to become a community youth center sometime early next year if enough funding can be raised to buy the building.
That's cool.
To buy the building. Now, since maybe you recall the Bowden Youth Center, that left downtown, that kind of shut down. A growing number of kids in that area, primarily the Pettigrew and Whittier neighborhoods, have been using the YMCA as of late to just hang out.
Yeah.
In fact, in excess of about 100 kids, ages, 9, 7, up through 17 or so. This according to Lloyd Company's Greg Lloyd, who's a great guy. I've known Greg a long time. According to Mr. Lloyd, for many of these kids, it's the only place that's safe.
Yeah.
After school, they can have a little something to eat at night. A lot of them, in fact, right now are staying until around 9:30 or 10 o'clock because they don't want to go home. That's heartbreaking.
So sad.
That's heartbreaking.
Yeah, that just kills me.
I remember when parenting was pretty much just a gimme. Not anymore.
Yeah.
Now, while the demand for kids for services has indeed increased, the number of fitness memberships has dropped over time. There's been a just a huge turn. The YMCA used to be it.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I used to be a member there.
Now there's 29 other places.
Right.
Yeah, then the hospitals did state-of-the-art stuff. Of course, you got Tom Walsh with Great Life has ate up a whole lot of that type of thing, and that's kind of what people are migrating to, the newer the better, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's kind of gone by the wayside as far as membership. So the idea is, because they've already turned a lot of the top level into
Apartments.
affordable housing, that kind of thing. Yeah, so now they're going to try to establish where it's just a youth center, which I think is probably a good idea.
I think that's a great
In,
use
in that
for
neck of the woods. Yeah, they're going to be able to convert like 38,000 square feet of space into youth center that could offer all kinds of different programming to multiple nonprofits, which isn't a bad idea. But again, it's about
the funds.
the do-re-mi. Yeah, that particular YMCA has been around, about 100 years.
Yeah.
About 100 years. The value of the building is sitting at like $5 million. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing if Craig Lloyd's behind this and a few other people, I'm pretty sure they can get it done. So
That's really, really cool.
we'll see what happens. And again, hey Jodes, thanks for that report. You can say you're blocking me, but
We both know better.
Thank you. Water
Just
Cooler
playing
Talk.
hard to get.
Water Cooler Talk brought to you by Aqua One. Thanks for listening.
she's a minx.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show bonus hour with Dan Farris on Sunny.
The average household has thousands of dollars in credit card debt. If you find yourself in that position and you're making minimum payments, you could be in debt for a long time. Make sure you have the very best card with the very best rates at bettercreditcards.net. We work with different banks and different credit card companies who put out their best offers to earn your business. See if we can help you get a better credit card at bettercreditcards.net. bettercreditcards.net. That's bettercreditcards.net.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. Heidi, will you go to the prom with me?
Sure.
Oh, that was awesome. Dan, will you come with us too?
Much as I love being the third wheel in this little rodeo of yours.
You know you love it.
Boy, gosh.
I honestly think that you would have a blast. We're going to be having an adult prom, 80s style. At the
We
Harrisburg.
went to an 80s.
We did one
over a little over a year. It was kind of a blast.
Yeah, and this one's at the Harrisburg Event Center. It's Saturday, December 14th, and if my calendar is right, that's next Saturday.
What?
What the what? Doors open at 5, dinner 6:30, dance to follow. Single tickets are $25, couples are $40, and that includes dinner and a photo booth as well. So come out, have some fun. It's going to be a good time. They've got a DJ that'll be playing the music. Again, all of the details on our page, facebook.com/sunnyradio. But if you'd like to register to win tickets, I guess I've got a link on our Facebook page too, but you can just go to sunnyradio.com. In the top, you'll see a little button that says Win Awesome Prizes, and that's where you're going to win prizes for this, the prom tickets, but that's also where you sign up for Southeastern Hair Design and Day Spa and Tire Motive. So all of those prizes available at sunnyradio.com. Click Win Awesome Prizes on the top of the page.
If you can't have a drink without it leading to another drink and another drink, maybe it's time to get help. There are programs designed to help take alcohol out of your life for good at timeforrehab.com. Don't let a drinking problem spill over into other areas of your life. Get help to quit drinking and start living the life you truly deserve at timeforrehab.com. Your insurance may cover everything. Learn more at timeforrehab.com. That's timeforrehab.com.
Faith, freedom, and the best music of the 80s and 90s. You are listening to Sunny 93.3. It's time right now for entertainment news of the day with Mr. Dan Farris.
Because celebrities are fabulous. Don't you ever believe otherwise. We're going to take a route we almost never take here. We're going into the world of country music because Heidi's a big fan.
Heard of them before?
Heidi's got every country album
Yeah, you
ever
know
recorded.
Boots right now.
Willie Nelson, who I actually had the pleasure to meet, oh my goodness, about 100 years or so ago. Willie, not only known as an amazing songwriter, an amazing performer, been around a long, long time. He's also very well known for his use of Bum Bum Bum, the Devil's Lettuce.
Oh.
No, I've never
Asparagus?
heard that before.
Well, Willie, kind of pothead. Kind of a pothead. Huge proponent and advocate for marijuana.
Right.
Marijuana. This story actually just broke. Willie has quit smoking pot.
Really?
Really?
Putting his doping days behind him. The 86-year-old country music legend said he's quitting for health issues.
Oh?
Yeah, apparently.
Isn't that the reason that most people say they need to start?
You know,
Right?
I got the glaucoma.
that's why we need debate classes. It is interesting. He actually had to cancel some concert dates
Oh, that's too bad.
because of breathing issues and whatnot. And he's saying, yeah, and it is. He's just straight up about it. He goes, yeah, he used marijuana. It's like, yeah, it's kind of taking a toll on me, so he's going to stop. He's 86, so who knows? So who knows? Quote, I have abused my lungs quite a bit in the past, so breathing is a little more difficult these days, and I have to be a little more careful. I've mistreated my lungs since I was really young. He actually started smoking, and you'd think he's 86 years old, so when he started smoking, you'd think maybe a roll-your-own type cigarette or maybe a filterless thing like a Lucky Strike cigarette or something. No, he actually started by smoking ground-up cedar bark.
What?
What?
Who does that?
Willie.
Why?
He went from that to cigarettes to, as he puts it, whatever. And the whatever almost killed him.
Yeah.
So he
Wow.
says, I don't care about the rumors, what anybody's saying. I'm here. I'm glad to be here. I'm lucky to be here. So he's just switching a little lifestyle thing up and hopefully go the distance. His goal is to outlive Keith Richards. So we'll see what happens.
Wow.
Neck and neck
that's-
right now.
Yeah.
They actually, and here's the thing.
He might be the only one that makes Keith Richards look good, though.
Keith Richards and the Rolling Stones are still on tour.
Yeah.
Keep this in mind. Keith Richards is now 75. But he does not look a day over 96.
Yeah, I honestly thought he was older
I
than
thought he was way
so
older
Willie
than
is
that.
older than Keith.
Oh, yeah, by 10 years.
I didn't realize that.
Yep, true story.
Yeah, he does. They look like they both look pretty rough.
But yet in concert, they're still getting it done, man. They just are.
I was at a Willie concert in Minnesota.
He doesn't stop.
He wouldn't. He kept. I was late for work the next day because he wouldn't quit encores.
Yeah, he'll just
and
keep
I was one
going.
of the security guards. I couldn't leave, so he just kept singing. I'm like, dude,
He'll
somebody
keep going. I don't know if he still
unplug
does
his
it or
mic.
not.
He was great, though.
But he'd sit around and do autographs for hours at a time, too, after the show. So
All of Me is probably one of my all-time favorite songs. I absolutely love that.
he was a great...
Who sings that?
I wasn't just making conversation.
Yeah, but he was a
Really?
very successful writer before he ever started doing his
Yeah.
own. So
Yeah.
one of my all-time favorite songs in all the world, Patsy Cline, Crazy.
Yeah, he had that hit before she did.
That was written by Willie Nelson and a lot of others, too. So
She did it way better, though.
there you go. And also, I would fully suspect, because everything is a pebble in a pond and has other ramifications just beyond the individual, some experts are now saying they fully expect at least 3 South American drug cartels to file for bankruptcy by the end of the year. So
The ripple effect.
There you
what
go.
I mean.
Pebble in
Yeah.
the pond.
we're all affected by your decision, Willie.
There you go. Well, Dan, thanks for the report, man.
My pleasure.
Again, Mr. Dan Farris joining us here for our John and Heidi Show bonus hour on Sunny 93.3.